Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In assignment 3, we have question number 5 for our project, in which we have to make the block diagram of our assigned project, and then we have to test the sensors and represent their functions and the PWM function, and we have to show our robot on a state machine for minimum 3 IR sensors. So here I am showing you the block diagram of our project IR line following robot, in which we have the use the controller at Mega 2560, and in which we have the 6 IR sensors. So I am using the port 22 to 27 for the IR sensors, and input ports voltage, current and sensor, and one input port for the SD card module. Then we have the following outputs, in which we have the LCD connected with the output to show the voltage and current values, and we have the motor driver L298 to run the motors for 1 and 2, and motors are connected on the pin numbers 10, 11 and 12 and 13 of at Mega 2560. Then I am showing you the state diagram that I have made for at least 3 sensors, because 6 sensors are difficult to show on this state diagram. So I am here showing you the 3 IR sensors. So we have the 4 states 1, 2 and 3, and we have the following inputs and then the next states of our robot. For example, let's say we are on the first state, then if the IR sensors are 0, 1, 0, then we will move forward and our next state is 2. And if we have the IR sensors 1, 1, 0 and 1, 0, 0, then our function left motor means our boat turns left and we are on the state 2. And if we have our IR sensor 0, 1, 0, then we move forward and our next state is 1. Similarly, when our sensors are 0, 1, 0, then we will move forward and our next state is 3 as shown here. And if we have the 0, 0, 1 and 0, 1, when means our right sensors means the rightmost sensors are on, then we will move, then our robot will move towards right and our next state will be 3. And similarly, if we are on the first state and if our left sensors means leftmost sensor and our state is 1, 1, 0 and 1, 0, 0, then our robot will move towards left and our next state will be 4. Now I am going to show you the uh, C code that I have made on the Arduino IDE for our project. Here on the screen you see that I have the Arduino IDE screen, in which I have made the code for our robot line follower, in which you see that first I have declared the pins for the IR sensors 22, 23 up to 27 for 6 IR sensors. In this case I have all the details written for the interrupt function, voltage, current, and but I am showing you only the that part that is related to our question, in which we have the interference of our IR sensors and the motors and the functions of IR and the motors forward, left, right and stop. So I am going to skip the other functions that I have written here. So first I have declared the ports for the IR sensors. Then here you see that I have in the setup function I have given the inputs and output mode for the pins for the IR sensors and for the motors to move forward, left and right. Pin mode IR1 input, pin mode IR2 input, and similarly up to 12. And here you see that I have made the pin mode 10, 11, 12 and 13 for the output. After this I have made the check function on the IR sensors whether they are high or low. That's why I have made a void check function to read the values on the IR1, IR2 means the pin 22, 23, 24 up to 27 read pin. That's I have used here digital read function, because I am going to now read the values of the IR sensors, and depends on the values of IR our robot will function. Then here you see that in the void car control function I have made all the functions that is controls the robot, means to move forward, right, left, or stop. And here I'm using the if else condition. Say if else for the IR sensors, means whether which IR is on, and depends on that value our robot will function, whether to it has to move forward, right, or left. So here I have used a lot of conditions, but now I am going to explain you some of these. If IR1 is 0, IR2 is 0, IR3 is 1, IR4 is 0, IR5 is 1, and IR6 is 0. Means our IR3 and IR5 is 1, means our center sensors are on, so our robot will move forward, and on the screen you see input forward. Here you have noticed that I have made this program for the 6 IR sensors, and on the state diagram I have shown you for the 3 sensors. This is because I have made the Arduino, where I have made the line following robot by using the 6 IR sensor, but on the state diagram it is difficult to show you all the 6 states. That's why on the state diagram I have shown you only the 3 states, but on the program Arduino IDE I have made the code for the 6 IR sensors, because this is our requirement for the project. That's why here I have used the 6 IR sensors and 6 conditions. And our next condition says else if digital read IR1 is 0, 2 is 0, but only IR5 is 1, means only one center sensor is on, then again our robot will move forward. After that I have made the conditions for to move the robot left, means here I have used the symbol khabe to move the left. If our leftmost sensor, which is IR1, is on and all other are 0, then our robot will move towards left. And if our IR1 is 0 but IR2 is 0, which is the second left sensor, then again our robot will move towards left in this else condition. Then I have made the for the right sensor, and you see that I have made the if conditions to move the robot towards right. Then if again our IR6 sensor is on only, means the rightmost sensor is on, then our robot will move towards right. That's I have used the word sajje. And if our IR4 is on, means the second right sensor is on only, then again our robot will move towards right. And similarly I have used here make the other possible conditions also. And then we have the following stop condition. If our all sensors are on, or if our 4 sensors are on but only left condition is off, whether now the robot will not decide whether it has right or straight condition, that our robot will stop. And if no condition appears, then else condition functions and our robot will stop. Then here I have used, you see that I have made the functions for the forward, right, left, and stop. Here you see that I have made the forward function, in which I have given the analog right 13 pin and 11 pin 130 condition. Because I have used the PWM, that's why I have given the speed to robot to 130. The maximum speed of our robot is 255, but I am using the less speed, and the on the robot is 130. That's why I have used the analog right, so I can call the PWM. And similarly I have used the functions for the right, left, and stop. And on the stop I have used the PWM analog right 0, so our bot will stop. So this is basically our code for the project of land following robot. Now I am going to show you the protest simulation of our robot. Here you see that I have used the Atmega 2560 microcontroller, and then I have the following 6 IR sensors input, and then I have used the motor driver L298, which controls 2 motors 1 and 2. On the sensors input you see that I have given the logic probe, whether which condition is on or off, and then pins are connected to 22 and so on. and the motors are connected to the atmega, and our this is connected to the required ports, and then our on these functions our motors will operate. Now, depending upon the conditions present on the IR sensors, our atmega will perform the function, and on these conditions our motors will rotate, whether the motor 1 will rotate, motor 2 will rotate, or both will rotate, so our robot will move forward. So this is our the protest simulation of our land following robot.